Now, a lot of you have been asking to talk about the sister-in-law of Alex Murdaugh, aka Maggie Murdaugh's sister. Now, guess what time it is? We're gonna jump straight into this, and yeah, basically see what she has to say. What was happening in the household right after he kind of blasted the two of them away, and he wasn't actually in jail. Let's get straight to it.
Okay. I grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina. Maggie and I did. She was my only sibling with two parents. And we both went to college, both married, both lived in South Carolina.
First, right off the rip, y'all, that's really messed up. Your only sister, and you guys make it this far in life, only for her to die to her husband, allegedly. You feel me? Because a lot of people in the comments are saying, oh, we don't know that. Come on, guys. Come on.
Here ever since. I'm married. I have 3 daughters. And we live in the Charleston area.
Where did Maggie go to college?
South Carolina.
Did she go somewhere else and then transfer to South Carolina?
She did.
How far apart are you and Maggie?
5 years.
Ooh, me and my sister are 5 years apart. I am 25 and she is 30. Pretty crazy. It's a weird dynamic having siblings age gap that far apart, but at this day and age, at this age, we're really cool. But it could get rocky sometimes.
And your parents, what are their names?
Terry and Kennedy.
And do y'all have any other siblings, or was it just you and Maggie?
It's just Maggie and me.
Growing up, being 7 years apart as younger folks, was that a bit of an age difference as y'all grew up?
It was. For children, that's a lot. So, I was in college. She was in high school. So we weren't super close when we were children, but later on, as our lives became more similar, we became very close.
Yeah, kind of exactly how she describes it. When you have that much of an age gap, the kids tend to kind of not fuck with each other as much, which is why when I have kids, I kind of want them closer in the age range so there's more companionship. Not saying we didn't have companionship. She was also a girl. I was a boy. She was 5 years older than me. So, it was a little tough with the, companionship type of shit. But now we're both adults. It's like, oh, hey, sis, what's up? So, yeah. It sucks, man. Imagine that. Don't want to imagine that shit in that type of fashion happening.
How long ago do you think that relationship grew very close?
When the children were little, we did a lot together. It was easy. As they got older with, their commitment, sports and things like that, it was mostly holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. And then when we both became empty nesters, we were having a really good time.
Empty nesters. All the ladies shout out what that means. I mean, it's obvious, but...
Y'all talk almost every day?
Almost every day.
Your wearable health and fitness coach now tracks stress. If you don't already know, Whoop is a wearable device that monitors recovery, sleep, training, and health.
Tell the jury a little bit about Maggie. How would you describe her as somebody, just so they can get an idea of who she was?
Maggie was sweet. She was kind of a free spirit. She was always up for anything that was going on.
She was kind of a free spirit. Now, at my eulogy, if the second thing they say about me is I was a free spirit and I was down for anything, Mom and them might be raising their eyebrow like, I'm just saying. Anyways, let's get back to it.
She loved her family. She loved her boys. Buster and Paul were her world. She loved my parents. We, joked how we would grow old together and take care of them.
And you know what? They damn near made it. Damn near made it. Shame on, not Buster. Shame on Alex, man. He's a piece of shit. Certified. Stamp of approval.
She's just a really, really good person.
Was Maggie a tomboy at all, or was she more of a girl's girl?
No, she was definitely a girl's girl, but she made the best of having two boys. She was right in there fishing, hunting. She didn't grow up doing that. We used to laugh that she'd get in the deer stand with her Southern Living magazine, and the boys would tell her she was making too much noise turning the pages.
You know, that's kind of crazy. I'm seeing a bunch of similarities because my mom, she's still alive. She didn't get shot by her husband. Yeah, no, she was not an outdoors person at all. But, you know, she had me, my sister, but we lived in Belize, so it's a lot of rural things we would do, fishing, hunting. She got right up in the mix, you know, to make everybody, you know, she adapted. And that's how it sounds like Maggie also operated.
And then, you know, fishing, she loved going out on the boat. She loved being at the beach. She loved going to the islands. I don't know that she really fished that much, but she just wanted to do what they were doing. She wanted to spend time with them.
So we move closer to June 7th of 2021. I believe you testified that the family had received some bad prognosis on Mr. Randolph. Is that correct?
Yes. Maggie called me that day and said she was at Edisto. She had some men working on the house, and Mr. Randolph was not doing well at all, and Alec really wanted her to come home that night. She hadn't planned on it, but that he needed her to come home, and Paul was going to be there too. And I said, well, Maggie, I said, you know, Alec and his dad are super close, and that's probably what you should do. Go be with him if he needs you.
Wait. That adds a whole nother layer to this shit. It just registered to me that he texted her frantically that his dad is dying, only for her to come home. And I think the same night is when he kills her.
Ready for the summer?
You encouraged her to go to Murdaugh.
I did.
Wow, that's crazy. So the very night that she gets the call from Alex that, oh, frantically, Paul is already here. Come over. I need you. My dad's dying. He's this, he's that. He's setting them up. Wild. And her sister encouraged her to go. Well, if that's your man, go be with him.
Was that the last time you talked to her?
Crazy.
Yes.
That's a crazy ending right there. That's a crazy ending of a 60, 50 plus year relationship with your sister. That's how it ends. That's the last phone call you have.
You remember about what time of day that was?
I think it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think Maggie loved to call me when she was driving. She was always driving from, you know, Moselle to Edisto to Charleston. And I think it was around 4 that afternoon.
What was the rest of your day like? Just a normal day?
Just a normal day.
Did you go to bed that evening?
Actually, we were not in bed. We were watching a movie. It was just Bart and me at home that night.
Bart, your husband?
I don't know why he's not leading in, like asking an official question, but I think he's asking her about the night that they get the news that, you know, the two of them are dead. Crazy.
Tell me how you found out.
John, I didn't even realize this was going on. We were watching a movie, and Bart had gotten up to, I thought, go into the kitchen, and he had a text from John Marmon saying that a text from Randy, saying that there had been a tragedy, and could Bart please call him on his cell phone. He had called on Alec's cell phone, but wanted Bart to call him back on his cell phone.
So what happened?
So Bart went outside and called him. So I still didn't know anything was going on, and told him that Maggie and Paul had been shot. They were dead.
Damn.
What was your reaction?
Couldn't
I just
process it.
couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was true. I said, there has to be a mistake. I said, there's got to be some explanation. It just can't be them.
Yeah, no, that must be horrifying. Now the thing is, why did they call from Alex's phone?
What'd y'all do after that?
We gathered up our things and we went to tell my parents. And they live in Somerville. My mom had just had knee replacement surgery.
And keep in mind, there's no coming back. Like, the coroner already saw them, and, like, it's a fact. Like, they're out of here. Like, there's no them going to the hospital or any of that. Like, nah.
So when we got to Somerville, I called and I said, Mom, we're on the way, and we've got some bad news to share, but I want to be with you. And so she was sitting in her recliner chair with her leg all bundled up, and so we got there, and both of my parents were there.
A couple of days or in the aftermath, as the shock was wearing off just a little bit, did you have any conversation with Alec about what had happened? Did y'all hug?
We did.
Cry?
We did.
Over the course of the next couple of days or in the aftermath, as the shock was wearing off just a little bit, did you have any conversation with Alec about what had happened?
I didn't talk to Alec a lot. Alec was just really busy, and the whole town was coming to see him, and he was very, very, very torn up.
But was he, though? I mean, family members are saying they cried together. He was torn up, this and that. These are family members. How did he show that act to the family members and screw up in front of the police? Because I'm telling you, there were no tears. Go look at it. 0 tears. But anyway.
I did at one point ask him
There he is.
Maggie had suffered, and he assured me that she did not.
How would he know?
Now, I don't know that I think that's true. And I asked if Paul had suffered, and he said no.
Again, how would he know that?
And then later I asked him, I said, Alec, do you have any idea who's done this? I said, we have got to find out who could do this. And he said that he did not know who it was, but he felt like whoever did it had thought about it for a really long time.
I'm pretty sure he did. He felt like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he thought about this for a while. Like, just to bring yourself to do that, because this is an unnatural act. And this is not someone who's been a criminal his entire life. He's never been a criminal. His entire family is a line of lawyers. So for him to cross that line and commit that act, killing someone, it had to be meditated for a while. It's not like he's been doing this forever and he just killed him because he needed to get rid of him real quick. Nah.
Whoever had done it had thought about it for a really long time. Did that strike you as odd?
I just didn't know what that meant.
Why would he even say that?
Were you ever privy or have any discussion with anything Alex said about whether or not he went to the kennels that night?
I personally did not talk to him about that, but he told my mom that he had dinner with Maggie and Paul, and then he took a nap, which he did. That was kind of a routine. He would lay down on the sofa at night after work and take a nap.
He said he never went to the kennel.
Correct.
Ate some food, took a nap while they were dying. And they're dying while Jason Bourne is out there killing them. He's over here taking a nap. That makes 0 sense. There's absolutely nobody out there who's brazen and ballsy enough to kill a lawyer's family. You know what I mean? I just thought about that. Like, who in that little tiny ass town is gonna go and kill your family, right? And you're not gonna get caught, right? You're just assuming you're not gonna get caught. Like, nobody's trying to do that.
After your conversation with Maggie, your last conversation with her, did it strike you as odd that she didn't go to the kennels or go to Alameda with Alec?
Yes,
And why is that?
because that's the whole reason she went home that night.
Did you think from your conversation with Maggie that she was planning to see Mr. Randolph too?
I thought so. I didn't realize that Mr. Randolph wasn't there at the time.
That was a surprise to you? In the days and weeks following Maggie and Paul's murder, did Alec ever say anything about the boat case?
We would talk about the boat case, and he was very intent on.
So hold that thought. Keep in mind, this is his only quote unquote alibi to kind of be like, oh, somebody's mad in the town and killed my family. This is his only way out. And I don't think he really registered that if they don't buy that story, what else are you going to go for? But let's see what she has to say.
Clearing Paul's name.
What did he say?
He said that his number one goal was clearing Paul's name. And I thought that was so strange because my number one goal was to find out who killed my sister and Paul.
Yeah, think about that. Your mind is functioning normally, but the one who killed them is thinking like, how do I sound least suspicious, right? Don't worry, he's dead. It's all over with, but I'm going to make sure his name shines in the wind. You know what I mean? Other than like, oh no, somebody just murdered my family. It makes zero sense. But in his head, he's covering his tracks. The best thing he should have did was shut the fuck up. Just be weird and don't say anything. Because, oh my God. And the way she said that, it sounds weird. Like, why would he say clearing it? Who gives a fuck about clearing his name? We need to get to the bottom of who killed him.
But that wasn't Alec's concern, main concern?
I know he
What? Oh, my bad. Can you close it? Scared the fuck out of me.
I don't know how he could have thought about anything else.
He talked about the boat case. Did he ever act scared or afraid that the real killers were out there somewhere or anything like that, or was he concerned with the boat case?
The real killers were out there. I love this guy. He's so sarcastic.
We were afraid. We didn't know what was going on. My family was scared. I was scared for Alec and Buster. I felt like they needed protection. I think everybody was afraid. And Alec didn't seem to be afraid.
His lawyer's in the corner like, nah, man, don't worry. We got this. Yeah, nah. The hunting boars in the daytime and the you know, all that shit makes sense. The dying dad and going to sleep while they're getting murdered, all of it makes sense.
Did he also talk about getting Buster back into law school
Yes.
after the murders? Maggie loved those dogs, didn't she?
She did.
She liked going down there and playing with them?
She did.
Would she tend to walk down there, or would she take another way to get down?
If she was dieting, she'd walk. Sometimes she'd ride her bicycle, and she'd take her car. She'd go, you know, just whatever she felt like. Take her car, take one of the golf cart things.
What you think about those AR-style guns that the boys have?
She seemed to be fine with those. I remember when she wanted to give them those for Christmas, and I just growing up with girls and not in a hunting world, I said, Maggie, why would you give those boys those guns? And she said they love to shoot hogs, and which I understood that the hogs were tearing up their property, but it just scared me that that the boys would have such a dangerous weapon. But I know
There's no such thing as such a dangerous weapon. A weapon is a weapon. A weapon is a tool. Use it properly. And they were probably quite fine with those weapons. Clearly their father was not the one that was fine with it, you know? It's quite simple.
nothing about guns, so
I like how she admits she didn't know about guns, so she was just skeptical. But, you know, educate yourself and you'll realize it's only a tool.
Thank you for testifying. Please answer any questions the defense may have.
Mr. Griffin.
Hey. You and your husband and Bart and your children, y'all would all vacation together with, not necessarily with Buster and Paul's friends, but with Maggie and Alec and Paul and Buster, and y'all did things as a family a lot. Did you
we
know?
did.
And Alec was
I really don't know where the defense can go with this, to be honest. It's like, okay, they were a great family until they weren't. Like,
really close to your parents, wasn't
Yes,
he? And he considered your dad as one of his best friends, I believe.
he was very kind to my dad.
Right. And
no, see what he was to her father was incognito. He had the mask on as the good guy. Someone who's capable of doing that type of shit, I don't think they were ever really a good guy, to be honest.
and y'all would vacation. I think you and your husband have a house in the Keys. You would vacation there, right?
Correct.
And y'all would do a lot together. You place up in off Lake Kiowee. Is that right?
Correct.
And I mean, you said Maggie was a girl, but she took to the boys.
Damn, she got a ring on her finger. That is a ring right there. I just wanted to point it out. Goddamn.
And learned to be a mother of two rambunctious sons, right?
She did.
And what's sad to go over and visit his mother because of her condition.
Absolutely.
And it was really not high on her list of things that she wanted to do.
Maggie went there a lot. She just didn't feel like she needed to go every day like Alec liked to go.
Skipping ahead, there's a whole bunch of knee yanking and tail jerking. They're just asking a whole bunch of meaningless questions, in my opinion. Right now, they're trying to figure out the reason or show the reason as to why Alec's wife didn't really want to go to his parents all the time, because it was a little depressing.
And Alec would go every day and sometimes more than once a day.
As much as he could, he did.
And keep in mind, they're trying to keep this story open because he said that he went to his mom's at that random time. So they're trying to make it seem like, yeah, we always go there. Same thing they do with Buster. They're trying to make it seem like, yeah, he always would just drop things and go and see grandma, you know? Which, again, I don't think is the case.
But Maggie cared for Mr. Randolph, and I know she loved him. I'm talking about she would, prepare food for him and tried to spoil him, wouldn't she?
It was the no salt diet.
Right.
And they were all struggling to cook food that he would eat with no salt.
And she experimented with different things, hopefully that he would enjoy, right?
Right. The whole family was taking turns and trying to provide meals.
And God bless her for that. Sadly, his son didn't see it the same way.
At Moselle.
Right.
But Alec had to stay at Moselle, or did stay at Moselle, because his work was right there in Hampton, right?
Right.
And Alec was constantly wanting Maggie to come back and stay with him at Moselle, wasn't he?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. I don't think he really liked being by himself.
But when he asked Maggie to come back on,
Man, that head is shining, just reflecting. I could see the roof on the back of his head. He's got a good shine. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. It's more power to him.
the 7th, I mean, you didn't think that was really an unusual request, because he wanted to be with Maggie
Right.
and didn't like to be by himself.
I did not think it was unusual, and that's why I encouraged her to do so.
And
Don't shake your head, buddy.
and
Just chill. You're
and
going to
you-
jail.
From your conversation with Maggie, you knew that Paul was going to be there,
Correct.
right? And do you know why Paul was going to be there? Had you heard?
I didn't know at the time. I know now.
That's but anyway, he
But well, anyway, and she was. I think that I know now is kind of like, yeah, I know now why he was there, to get set up. Yeah, but anyway, the cross-examination is not going well for the defense. But if y'all like this, hit the thumbs up. We'll come back to it and finish it later. I'm gonna be coming out with more different videos. I know I was veering all over the place. We're gonna go explore. See you guys in the next one. Hold up real quick. I gotta shout you guys out for getting me up to 2K, right? 2K subscribers. I love you guys. Get me up to 3K. Make sure you tell your grandma, your auntie, your niece, your nephew, your cousin. Tell everybody, hit that subscribe button. Love you guys.